The Tennessee Titans are narrowing down their head coaching list for the second round to 3 to 5 candidates. Who are those names? Let me explain. Welcome back to the show. Appreciate you guys checking out another episode of the Titan Report Podcast off-season edition. We got a lot to talk about today with NFL head coaching and also going to break down to NFL playoffs. If you're new, like, subscribe, and share with a fellow Titans fan. So we're going to kind of start things out, NFL playoffs, and then we'll kind of get to coaching. So we're kind of going to talk about some last week playoffs. So I went 4-2 in my picks. Los Angeles Rams got a narrow win, 34-31 against the Carolina Panthers. Man, Matthew Stafford, the 2 clutch touchdowns in the fourth quarter sealed the deal. That was troubling for the Panthers all day as they could not stop the Rams passing game. That's one of the biggest reasons why they got to the win on Sunday. So the Rams will move on. Now they'll play Chicago Bears on Sunday night. The Bears got a huge upset win, 31-27 over the Green Bay Packers. So the Packers having a 21-6 lead late in the fourth quarter, man. The Brandon McManus missed 2 big field goals, but Jordan Love throwing 323 yards passing. Chicago really took care of the fourth quarter, scoring 25 unanswered points. How about Caleb Williams, the 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter? That's what sealed the Chicago Bears victory over the Green Bay Packers. The Bears play the Rams in the divisional round on Sunday night. Let's go to the Jags and the Buffalo Bills, who I had the Jags winning this game. However, though, Buffalo Bills came and shocked a lot of people. Josh Allen, though, with 20 for 35, 273. Jacksonville turned over the ball 2 times. But going into the fourth quarter, it was a back-and-forth game into the very end. Both teams scored 14 points in the fourth quarter. But, man, that last interception by Trevor Lawrence really sealed the deal. And the Buffalo Bills would move on, and they play the Denver Broncos. San Francisco 49ers and Philadelphia Eagles. Man, this one was shocking. Brock Purdy throwing 2 touchdowns. That offense in Philadelphia looks struggling. A.J. Brown's having problems. It's looking like a disaster in Philadelphia right now, and that's something to monitor and keep an eye on. The second and final game is New England Patriots, Los Angeles Chargers. This one was closer than a lot of people actually thought. New England Patriots defense is getting the job. 6 sacks on Justin Herbert, 6 tackles for loss. Justin Herbert got bullied in the backfield. 11 quarterback hits. Last game of the wild card, Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, this is Aaron Rodgers probably his last game. Mike Tomlin stepped down as head coach. Aaron Rodgers got 1 pick six. The Steelers offense is not get going. Man, the Texans defense is one of the best defenses in this playoffs. And I think they can make a run for the Super Bowl. If CJ Stroud keeps on struggling and keeps having these moments where you just cannot do the big games, then the Houston Texans are going to have a problem. Head coaching searches, since a lot of people are waiting on that. So John Harbaugh and Kevin Stefanski are the 2 head coaches who are officially down on the list. Stefanski goes to Atlanta Falcons, confirmed last night, and John Harbaugh officially confirmed yesterday as well, is going to the New York Giants. We found out Wednesday that Harbaugh was officially going to the Giants, but took a long time to get the contract done. I'm not surprised about John Harbaugh at all. When I found this out, I was watching it, and I saw it on X the whole day, and I was keeping my close eye on it. I knew something was going to go down, right? He was in New York the whole day, and the Tennessee Titans were supposed to be flying to Baltimore at his home, and they lost the opportunity to because the Giants got there first, and the Giants didn't want John Harbaugh to get swept in by the Tennessee Titans or Atlanta Falcons. The Giants wanted to get this thing done as soon as they can. They felt comfortable. They knew that this was going to get done tonight. Kevin Stefanski is the second head coach to go down as the Falcons hires Kevin Stefanski after losing out on John Harbaugh. The Falcons went to their backup plan. There's a guy in this head coaching cycle who made my list to potentially be the next Titans head coach. It is Mike McDaniel. But watch Mike McDaniel on offense. Go to Justin Graver on X. He makes a lot of good points, and they do such a great job breaking down Mike McDaniel, especially how his offense is run. He seems like he'd be a better offensive coordinator fit, but man, I would love him at head coach just to see what he can develop for Cam Ward. And it's one of the most interesting head coach candidates out there, in my opinion. I love Mike McDaniel. I think he'll be a good head coach in the league. I really like what he can do at head coach. I kind of talked about it earlier this week. And one of the things is his offense was so good with Tua, and once Miami was consistent for the first 2 years, he made Tua good. Tua was struggling, and when your quarterback struggles, that's a problem. when you have a quarterback like Cam Ward who can prove it, and he's proved it so far this season, I think that can work really well in Mike McDaniel's system and be interesting to see where this goes. But I think Mike McDaniel is one candidate that should be high on Titans fans list. And also for the offense as well, you have playmakers like Seymour DK and Alec Iamander. You're going to draft one, you're going to sign one. Whatever the Tennessee Titans do, there's playmakers around Cam Ward, and hopefully next year, this offense will be so much better. And Mike McDaniel, I trust him to do so in that way. So one head coach who did step down, like we mentioned earlier, is Mike Tomlin, who stepped down from the Steelers for 19 seasons. How about this head coach cycle? We lost John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin. Those are the two top in the AFC North. The whole AFC North is gone except Zach Taylor. He's the last guy standing. Now, here's the thing on Mike Tomlin. Tomlin is not going to coach this year, okay? So some of you guys are probably wondering, is he going to come to the Titans? Is he going to coach? No, he's not going to coach at all. And the Steelers still have rights to his contract through the end of next year. So let's just say Tomlin doesn't coach this year and he's going to TV. There's a team that could trade for him in the next head coaching cycle because the Steelers still have ties to his rights. John Payton kind of stepped down and he came back, and then the Broncos traded for him. That could easily happen next year. If somebody wants to trade for Mike Tomlin in the next head coaching cycle, the Titans list for the second round of candidates, I'll kind of go from the three guys that we know so far as Kevin Stefanski, Matt Nagy, and Jeff Hafley. I think guys like Mike McCarthy and Robert Saleh, Mike McDaniel will probably be the last three guys in that list. There's one guy missing, though. It's Rams defensive coordinator Chris Shula. I just don't think he has interest in Tennessee Titans. I don't think he has interest coming here, especially with the job openings out there with the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Steelers. I think he silently declined the Tennessee Titans. I think at this point, the direction the Tennessee Titans are heading and how fast this is a moving process day by day, I think it's getting slimmer and slimmer for Chris Shula to becoming a chance to become the next Titans head coach. One guy I think it should be interesting for Titans fans also is Mike McCarthy. And Mike McCarthy is kind of gone under the radar in the fact Mike McCarthy's had 17 seasons as head coach and John Harbaugh is at 16 years. They're both around even a playoff. John Harbaugh's 12-10. Mike McCarthy's 11-11. Mike McCarthy has 7 division titles. John Harbaugh has 5. They both each have 1 Super Bowl. The thing I like about Mike McCarthy is he has a lot of experience. He actually came up as an offensive coach first. It's not because he got fired. The Cowboys wanted to move in that direction, so did McCarthy. I think that's what they agreed on. I will tell you guys this, though. McCarthy has had 3 straight 12-5 record seasons. McCarthy has experience as a winning head coach. And if you look at resumes, which a lot of people are comparing Matt Nagy to, McCarthy has the best resume out there. I think he's a really smart head coach, really smart-minded quarterbacks head coach as well. He's worked well with Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers. I think Mike McCarthy is a nice and a safe option for the Titans head coach. I think this will be one of the home run hires, in my opinion. He's the guy's been rumored to get in the second round. Number 5 is Matt Nagy. He's the lowest guy on the list. He's had quarterback trouble. I don't think Matt Nagy is going to fit the Titans job in the right way. It just doesn't seem like this is a guy I think I'm willing to give a second chance on. Yes, Matt Nagy has experience with working Patrick Mahomes, but that offense for Kansas City has not looked good at all this year. I don't really want a middle-of-the-pack offense. I don't really want average offense. And I don't think that's Matt Nagy gives leadership. I think he's low on this list, especially with the guys they have up there. I would like 4 of these guys better than Matt Nagy. Number 4, we're going to go Jeff Hafley, Packers defensive coordinator. I think he's a young defensive coordinator who make nice in the league. I think he'll do a good job with a young team. I think he'll put nice pieces around him. Hafley's low because he does not have coaching experience. Number 3 is Robert Saleh, 49ers defensive coordinator. Look, Robert Saleh, second time head coach if he does take this job. I like what he's done in the 49ers defense this year, especially with all the injuries. Even though they lost to Seattle last night, I still think Robert Saleh is a really hot candidate in this list. He's interviewing with the Titans today. Number 2 is Mike McDaniel, former Dolphins head coach. Yes, McDaniel has emerged one of my favorites. McDaniel is a smart offensive mind. This would be perfect for the Titans, especially Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward will love Mike McDaniel a lot, especially with his schemes and his play calls. Miami was 1-6 and he came all the way back to 7-10. Yeah, you could have easily gone 3-14 and just gave up. That's very good. The locker room really likes him. He's a good team around player. There's still some question marks to Mike McDaniel. Number 1, Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy's emerged my favorite. I think this is one of the top guys in this head coach cycle, especially he's not being much talked about. I think this is a guy who deserves a third chance, and this probably will be his last chance. He's actually had a good winning track record. This is a guy who actually put winning product on the field. This is a guy who can change your organization. I think Mike McCarthy is a good, solid head coach. I think Cam Ward will also like him as well. You can be able to help develop him. and train him to be a good quarterback. All right, so we're going to kind of rank the head coaching jobs in the league, starting off from number 9 all the way to number 1. And even though two of these teams already got hired and picked up, we're still going to mention them anyway. Number 9 is Arizona Cardinals. I think this is easily the worst job in the league. I think Kyler is gone this offseason, so their quarterback is still in question, and you don't really have a safe option. But man, Arizona's in trouble. They only have $9 million in effective cap space. They have 3rd overall pick. I don't know if they'll be spending a lot of money or not. Number 7, we're going to go Miami Dolphins. And again, we're not sure about the quarterback position here. I'm not so sure about Tua Tagovailoa if he's going to be here next year or whatever the heck's going to happen. It sounds like he's going to get cut. You have negative cap room. I just don't think the Dolphins are going to do very much here. After not landing John Harbaugh, the Dolphins are kind of spiraling because I think this is easily one of the worst head coaching jobs openings right now currently. Number 7 is the Las Vegas Raiders. Yes, I know Geno Smith's still there. I know they're going to get Fernando Mendoza since they have the number 1 overall pick. I'm not sold on the Raiders. It's the same thing every year. Their defense is really horrible in that secondary. I think the Raiders are one of the worst ones again. The whole team's a mess. Your whole chemistry is a mess. Max Crosby might want to leave. It's a whole mess in that building. Number 6 is the Cleveland Browns. And look, I think this is really low on this list. Yes, you have a nice talented defense. Your cap room's a really big mess, though. We don't know if it's going to start quarterback Shedeur Sanders or Deshaun Watson, but your organization troubles are a big history as well. I just do not think the Cleveland Browns are a top destination. Number 5 is the Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, they already got Kevin Stefanski. You don't have to explain very much. Matt Ryan is the new president of football operations. I'm interested to see where this Atlanta Falcons team is going to go in 2026 for their young defense. They have a lot of holes around their team. Number 4 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look, I think this is going to be a shock to you guys. Steelers are number 4. They're a little bit lower on this list because of a couple of reasons. Number 1 is because it's a big hole to fill for Mike Tomlin. That's something big to do to fill in the shoes. It's not easy to fill someone's shoes like Mike Tomlin's. That's Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback situation. Aaron Rodgers is gone. We don't know who their quarterback is. The Steelers do have a first-round pick, though, but it'll be interesting to see what the Steelers do at their head coach position. The Steelers could be interested in later on. Number 3 is Tennessee Titans. I think the Titans belong here. I think this is a perfect spot. And they have a ton of room to work with. They have the 4th overall pick. They have $75 million in cap room. Mike Borgonzi is a huge plus. Cameron Ward's a huge plus. Jeffrey Simmons is also a big plus as well. But I really think this is going to be a job that a lot of people are not talking about. I think a ton of candidates are interested for this job. And like a Mike McCarthy would fit so perfectly in this scheme. But I like this one. The only question is ownership. Yes, the ownership stability is a huge question mark with Amy Adams Strunk. But I truly think if you get a guy in there who can prove it, I think they want a proven coach. And that sounds to me is Mike McCarthy. I think the biggest issue is the ownership and stability through the whole team. And I think it'll be a big question mark is going through forward with this head coaching search. If they're going to be able to hire a leader, and that's been the problem for the Titans, is not having that stability, especially in ownership. Number 2, I don't have to explain much on this, New York Giants. And John Harbaugh, who already got hired by them. I really think if the Giants start out really bad next year, John Shane won't be here. And number 1 is the Baltimore Ravens. I don't think there should be any shock here. Baltimore Ravens got the most proven quarterback in this head coaching cycle. They got a good organization around. They got some decent money. They got a decent draft pick. I think it's a good destination to go. This is a winning now mode. This is a win now team. And I think if a win now coach wants to go to Baltimore, that's a big landing spot. And this is the most win team now. All right, now we're going to do NFL playoff predictions. Talk about these games next week. Buffalo Bills, Denver Broncos, Seattle Seahawks, and the San Francisco 49ers. We'll talk about those games in the next episode. But for currently right now, here are my picks, though. The Houston Texans on the road versus New England Patriots. C.J. Stroud looked really bad last week, in my opinion. I don't think he looked sharp. And if C.J. Stroud is not sharp in this game, the Texans defense could get beat right here. I think Drake May can take care of the Texas defense. I think he can get around the pressure. I think he's going to start off pretty slow. I think once he gets in that rhythm, and especially pressuring the Texans secondary, I think it'll be very much trouble for the Texans defense in this game. Give me the Drake May and the New England Patriots advancing to the AFC Championship game. All right, so now we're talking about the Rams and the Bears on Sunday Night Football. And I'm truly thinking this is going to be a cold Chicago night. I know the Bears have gotten lucky. They're 6-2 at home. Give me the Rams and Matthew Stafford. I think Stafford's going to have a bounce-back game. I think Puka's going to have a good game. Devontae Adams. I think the Rams are going to have to run the ball to get this win. If the Rams don't run the ball, I think this will be a troubling game in Chicago. It'll be a really cold, windy day. I think the Rams can take by 6. I think the Chicago Bears' luck in the fourth quarter does end in this game. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share with a fellow Titans fan. Also, check out my social medias on Instagram, X, and TikTok for more Titans news in the middle of the week. When the Titans head coach does get hired, though, we'll have 2 episodes that week. If it does happen this week, we'll have 2 episodes out this week discussing the head coach. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, Tighten up.